Hello and welcome to our next lecture. This is about the repetition or loop. So why we need a loop? In this lecture we will discuss the while loop, for loop, range function, break statement, continue statement and pass statement. So what actually loops are? The loops are when we want to execute a piece of code for number of times, for multiple times we use loops. So let me discuss first while loop. So the while loop is the syntax for this is while, the keyword while, then your expression and colon, and then your piece of code, means your code. So and or right now I'm just making it pass. Suppose I want to check that I'm just declaring a number. One is equal to number is equal to 1, right? And I want to iterate number less than 5, and suppose I want to print the number, right? And number plus is equal to 1. So in this particular loop we have declared num is equal to 1, and over here while num less than 5. So the iteration will loop through, or iteration will execute till the condition remains true. So the while loop works only whenever or when our condition remains true. So I'm just executing the statement. So you can check that firstly the num has value 1 less than 5. Yes, it is true. It goes to the print statement, and then we added a 1, and 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. The next time 2 less than 5. Yes, it is true. So the condition is true. So it has printed 2, and next time it has added 1 again in the the first the num have value 2, it becomes 3. So every time we are adding the value. In the case of like 5, so the 5 less than 5, the condition is false, and we bypass, actually the loop is exit. So the next case is for loop, very straightforward. So the for loop, actually sometimes we called it a count controlled loop. So it works only for the collections, or we have some sequences like a list or array or a string or a tuple. We use a loop. So it also is very simple. Suppose I want to I want to declare a var. Let's say I'm declaring a country, countries. I'm declaring UK, or actually England, USA, China, and Pakistan, right? So we want to iterate. How we get that the value of the country step by step, means one item, then second, then third, and then so on. And you can check that this is our set, right? So how we iterate the country step by step? It is very simple. We can use a for loop. For, here is the syntax for x in means country, right? And we want to print x. Let it check what it is printing. So you can check that it has started Pak, USA, England, China, and so on. But we want to, and another function is the range function. So as I said, for loop works only on collection, or we can make it a string despite of set. Let's say I'm making a b c d f g. Now you can see that it iterates the character by character, a b c d e f g, right? So the another concept is range function. The range function is that when we want to to specify number of item of iteration. Just for instance, I'm adding a range, right? Range, it takes actually 3 parameter and 2 parameter, stop and start, stop and step. Let's say I want to start with 1 and stopping with 5. Let it check. So it has printed 1 2 3 4 5, right? The range function work in this way. Suppose I want to go with 10 with the step of 2. Step mean every time it firstly it will print the 1, then it will add a 1 step, the next iteration will be 2, but we have added step 2, so it ignore the step 2 and go to the step 3 and so on. So the another thing is that this is about the break statement. So sometime like we have suppose in this case this is our range function, or actually let me add a countries despite of, here is our countries. So the break statement is that when we want to execute our loop or execute our code, after specific condition we want to exit the next execution of the control. We do not want to execute any further processing, so we use the break statement, ignore this particular statement and go to the next line of code, go to next part of the code. So suppose I want to check that if x is equal to, suppose China, this the colon, and we want a break, right? Let it just print actually here, print x. I'm using a format value found x, value found of x, then it will ignore the other case. You can check that when it comes or actually let it print else statement as well. Print x. So you can check that park, it has looping the park, then it comes to the USA, then it goes to the China, right? So when the China is found, so it has if the loop come to over here, if the x is China, that's yes, this is true, then it has ignored the England, right? So you may be noticing that why we are getting like in this way park, China, and but we have England, USA and China, because this is a ordering. So that's why it is iterating in that adder. You can check that built-in unordered collection of unique element. So this is unordered. Unordered mean, as we already discussed in our previous session, when we want to save data on our index base, we use the that collection called called ordering or order. And the next step is continue. Suppose I said let it print everything despite of when the China is come, we want to continue sometime we have like a logic. Suppose when we found that if the x mean the value of country is China, we do not want any kind of execution in our code, but we want the whole loop of our collection, then we use the continue. You can check that it will print everything, park, USA and value China found and England. But in the case of break, when the condition becomes true, so our cursor or our focus of the loop will go to the next code. So this is about the continue. And here is another thing, that is a pass statement. Sometimes we want to check that actually pass statement is also working like a continue statement. Pass, you can check that it also have work, the pass and continuous work on the same way. And this is about to the collection. the very powerful techniques are, they all are. And I think so you will guys enjoy this video. If you have any question, concern, or any ambiguous, please let me know, so I can discuss more on these kind of iteration.